Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day, good whatever time it is for you free enterprise fans around the world. My name is Possum Morpheus, and I am delighted to be here with Tybalt for this fantastic Red Moon waxing bracket matchup between DekarSMASH and Dragus. Tybalt, how you doing this afternoon, my friend?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Well, I can't complain and it wouldn't help, right?
No, it really wasn't. Wonder who the starting character is here. That the runners are kind of hiding it from us.
Well, I mean, if if Tricker or the YAML or anything has taught me anything so far in this tournament, it is that it's going to be Fusoya, because statistics don't matter to Lunarians and they just show up. So we're just going to assume it's a Fu and figure it out from there. Uh, Free Enterprise 2, thank you for coming on in with your raid of 117 of our best friends. Welcome on in. We are just about to get started between DekarSMASH and Dragus. Please no spoilers from your race, or we will make sure the newspapers fly out fast and hard right at you. So no spoilers. Thank you, thank you. Also, huge shout outs and thank yous to our runners again, DekarSMASH and Dragus. And of course, behind the scenes, we have Dubword on tracking and the one and only Asuka424 on Restream. Always exciting to have Asuka doing restreaming duties.
Yeah, so let's take a look at our objectives here. I mean, we've got the two standard, the Golbez and Gauntlet. Those are always going to be on there. But we've got good old Wyvern, Bombom, D-Lunars, DKC, Kanazo, and Valvalis. Where do you want that good old DKC to be?
I mean, it depends who the starting character is, but I think Value Cave is a fun one. That's 1100 to 1300 in the way of damage per wave. I'm more looking forward to a really cheeky or rude Wyvern personally. That's always exciting to me because you normally don't get good dragon killing gear in this flag set, and so if you have to chew through a lot of health of Wyvern, and you may or may not be anchored properly, there could be some real touchy spots for that. Val is also a fun one if you don't have an Edge or a Cecil in particular. You might end up with a party full of mages and then realize, huh, I can't beat Val. So those are kind of the things I'm looking at.
Yeah, well, the Val, it's like, okay, just have a Dragon Weapon pretty, everything's fine. Back to the Gold Baron Hero's journey, right?
Yeah,
Takes about 200 a hit, but you'll get through the fight eventually.
yeah, sure.
Hey, never said we had to go through it fast. Just the fact that we can get through the fight.
That's fair. I still remember that one, and I hate that I called it was going to be Valid Crystal Sword Altar. Anyway, we do see, courtesy of DekarSMASH first, we have the guy. Can we find the sword for the guy? That is a Cecil for our runners to go tackle all of these bosses with a Cecil start, Tybalt. I know what I'm doing right away. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm figuring out the party that I can get up with Ordeals as fast as possible and going straight to Eblin.
Yep, I
There's half of
100%
it.
agree with that. Yep, that is half of the party. You want to pick up a Palom now and get Twin going. That is a big to-do on the runner's list. A Legend Sword and a Leviathan. So Baron potentially fadeable, but we'll see where our bosses lie tonight.
Hey, we have a Legend Sword. I mean, at least it's a somewhat starting weapon for Cecil. It's not, the sword we want, but it's still a holy sword.
Yeah, it's a holy sword by way of having a holy element and a holy element only, because it has what, 35 attack power? It's worse than a slumber sword. It's not good.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. But I mean, it's still a sword, so you're happy. Light sword's actually arguably a bit better than it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we see a Rosa, so no shortage of white mages, which is great for our runners. And there is a Tella, so continuing the trend, we have collected every possible white mage shy of Iridia and Asura, or Sid and a stack of Cure 3s that we're going to find in this seed.
Yeah, so Mage Heavy can interest in you in early darkness now.
I mean, you can interest me in that. You might be able to interest our runners in that. I, for one, love a good D machine grind where you see it perfectly executed by runners and they're able to do the thing and do it quickly. I know there are very mixed feelings in the community about that, but I think it is a great skill to have in your tool belt. And we see a gauntlet hanging out in the waterfall. We are going to get tiny mages today, folks. And those
Ooh.
are my favorite enemies, especially if you charm them and they cast Fatal on your party.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Uh, you learn something every day, and I did not know that until just now. There's
Uh-huh.
the other half of the party who wanted to go for deals with a Palom and Damsian.
Yeah, Palom is a really big pickup there, much more so than the Edward that Dragus found. But he is going to get the rest of this Watery Pass loot, though I haven't seen anything particularly exciting outside of that Silent Staff. So we'll see if Dragus is able to go bonk bonk with that a little bit, or if he's going to really leverage that twin as opposed to even bonking things.
Yeah, it would have to be like a bluff twin, because really haven't found anything for black mages for stat boosting. So, I mean, at least having the bluff with Palom is really nice.
Yeah, Bluff Twin is a heck of an early game powerhouse. So that's definitely something to keep in consideration. We see a little bit of off the beaten path looting here for Dragus. Dempsey and Basement on T Pro, not usually a hotspot for loot just because the tiering is so low. I think the best thing we pick up there is an Archer Bow, so leaves a little bit to be desired. Archer Bow mute arrows, a Flame Spear if a Cane shows up, but we only got one hit left for a Cane, and that would be Mount Ordeals at this point.
Even then, like the samurai armor, at least it's some early game cash that you can have for yourself if you find your sirens or coffins. I think that's kind of useful to have, to finance some of your run.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. We'll see if our runners do a lot of shopping, or again if they just really go hard on this twin command. And it looks like with the way Dekar is setting this up, at least we are going to get some twin casting. You have in particular a setup you want to do with twin cast to make it reliably work, and that is having your twin with more wisdom in the higher priority slot so that it fires off appropriately. So what you're going to see from Dekar here is probably a parry from Cecil, a bluff with Palom, who's in slot 2, which is the top, and a twin usage from Porum, who is in slot 3, which is on the bottom. That would be the optimal way to do this. So very well set up, at least for right now. This is a bit of an odd boss, though, because Baigan will take more than one twin to get through. You really want to roll Comet here and not Flare.
Looks
And
like
that is a
he
rarity.
might actually be going for a double bluff on Palom for the twin cast.
Yeah, taking out one of the arms first so you get more damage in on the body, that actually does make a lot of sense. Because that will pretty much guarantee you're going to take out the body at this point, which is the desired result here. Because otherwise, Baigan just kind of gets a little annoying. Oh, we did parry.
Bluff? But he's on 3 bluffs right now. I think it's like, what, at base level you need 5 bluffs for him to max out?
Yeah, I would have expected after 2 to just go ahead and launch twin there. But again, you really don't want to short this and be left with, part of the body up. It recovers, gives you arms, takes more time. So a bit of a safe approach here from Dekar as Dragus joins him on this fight. Now, we see on Dragus' side, we do have Porum in the middle, which this Flare is going to use her Wisdom stat. Only 340 comes out, and Comet on Dekar's side, 1500 to the body. So Dekar able to get through this fight. Took it again a little more cautiously, but had those twins set up in the right order.
Yeah, it's slow and steady, gets you through the fight. And we found a tower key. Well, not useful to us now, but when we go to that forced hook route, we're going to be right there to turn that tower key in if we want to check the boss there.
Yeah, and Dragus actually got through that fight quicker than Dekar just by kind of YOLO twinning his way through it. Good news, bad news. He's through the fight, but bad news, he had to use 2 casts, so he's only going to have enough for 1 cast for Mount Hobbs if he goes that way, which could prove to be a little bit of a difficulty if he's still using Porum's Wisdom stat.
It's if the boss is actually required here. If it's not a boss you need, I think you just reset it, maybe hit like Fabul Uh, we knowing that it's Azure there, I don't think Dragus is going to take that particular fight.
Yeah, I would be interested to try to get a twin cast off and get that early XP. That is 4,200, I believe, XP, which is a decent amount early on for this team. It would allow you to then go do Ice 2, Lit 2, Fire 2 with Palom. But both runners say, nope, Asura not required, I'm out. Dekar heads to Fabul, and we'll see where Dragus is off to next.
And you also think like in these starting kits, you have 1 to 2 sirens, so you can at least get 5,000 or upwards of 10,000 experience on Ordeals to kind of supplement what you're missing there on Hobbs. To be able to get that Virus on Palom or the level 2 spells.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Hey, Tipball, why are we using Cure 3s on Mylon Z?
We are lethalizing our Cure 3s. Mylon Z's undead, so he takes damage from curatives.
Oh, but I thought Mylon Z was flying.
Well, he's also flying, but he's also undead. So, perfectly coded game. Okay, it's fine. Just don't cast Ice 2 on him. That's a bad idea.
And we see Dragus going with aiming and attacking rather than the Cure 3. So this fight going to take noticeably longer for Dragus and Dekar. So some of the time that he made up, and we're about to see what happens when you cast Ice 2 on Mylon Z, but some of that time is going to be given back here, while Dekar picks up a key item that I am unable to read because it doesn't exist.
Twin Harp? Oh, the Twin Harp always exists. Always there, always nagging at the back of your mind of, is the progression behind this? Is there a boss I need there? When do I go? Do I ever go?
No, I will say, with Atella in the party, you take every single chance you have to hit a Darkness Crystal early on, even if that means you have to do things like, a weird Twin Harp check or a really dangerous potential Baron. Even a Baron basement, if it might take a little longer than normal. You really want to prioritize finding Darkness with Atella in your party. That can just accelerate things so much. So I would not be surprised at all to see our runners play with that Twin Harp before they go underground.
Yeah, at least we have Atella. We'll have exit at least to be able to get out of there fast. Find a Power Staff on Dekar's side. Get a nice bonk stick.
Yeah, and speaking of things that go bonk, we picked up a silver hammer, I believe, from the chest just to the south of the Fabul King. So I think that will be some decent damage for that Cid as well, helping out. So not too bad. And a Heroine Robe just hanging out on Ordeals as well.
Yeah, that's a nice combination for our Rosa here. Get a bonk staff and a Heroine Robe. She's going to be in the back row doing all the damage.
Yeah, I am a little surprised on Dekar's side that we got rid of Porum, essentially giving up our twin ability. I would be very surprised to see many runners do that. I think twin is just such a ridiculous ability early on that having access to twin and then transitioning to virus, if that's what we're looking to do now, I guess that's fine. But like not having virus right off the bat, man, oh man, I would really want twin.
I can understand wanting twin, but if you're thinking late game party, I mean, Porum has definitely made herself a name in previous races, but I mean, some people just don't like Porum, and that's perfectly fine.
Both runners not after my heart as far as this seed is concerned. Neither one keeping Porum, both saying okay bye in favor of that Cid. So yeah, no twin cast for the first boss here. So this first boss will be a little slow for both runners, but we'll see what it is and if there is a potential issue. Dark Elf, probably not going to be an issue, just going to be slow. The Silver Hammer won't hit any weaknesses, but is going to be pretty strong in general. So is Rosa bonking things.
Yeah, Rosa with that Heroine Robe, those extra stats are just so nice in the early game.
I will say it's a little surprising, anchor-wise, to not have that Rosa in the center, so we're fast anchored. I would personally want to be fast anchored while bonking things, mitigate the weak cast, the fire 2s, lit 2s, all of that, and just get all of my turns and not let the bosses take any turns. So interesting that neither runner is opting to go fast anchor here as well.
I think for some people, either they're not a fan of being fast anchor, like they want to know their party order at any given time. So having a slow anchor, you're able to predict it more often. But I can definitely see where, being fast anchor, you're able to get more turns. But if you don't know the black magic of agility, then you're just kind of waving your hands going, who's next? Next?
No, and that's definitely fair. Is that agility is the big mystery. So it's one of those things that, if you want a very particular party order, keeping yourself slow anchored even on the overworld makes sense. And we see Dragus using a bit of tech here. The Dark Elf second form does not have the boss bit, so Dragus went out and stopped the Dark Elf. So now he's not going to take punches, not going to take 25% damage from the I forget the name of the Dark Elf's move, but not going to take damage from it, which is great. What is not great... Yeah, there we go. What is not great is this Mom Bomb. Even though it's required, this is gross.
Yeah, do we have any jams for that second section of Mom Bomb? Because those bomblets are gonna hit a little hard and then explode, and they have a bit of health, more so than we have right now. Sid will probably survive. But if
Sid will survive. Rosa at full health might survive. Having Virus would help here. Having Twin would help here. Just saying.
At least it's not a back attack plague.
True. That would be ugly.
We have one person fast anchored, one person slow anchored. Both entered the fight around the same time. I mean, we'll see which one comes through, but I mean, Rose is hitting for quite a lot. I don't think we're gonna skip the explosion phase in this one.
No, heavens no. We're not dealing 9,000 extra damage. Dekar just sitting here waiting to see if he has a J item, and he has Thor Rages, which are not going to do it. So this is where having something even like an Earth Hammer for Sid would be amazing, but we don't have that. Rosa does walk it off. Everybody actually lives, which is shocking to me. I did not expect that to be the case.
I mean, they survive with just enough health. The main worry is these little bomblets when they get out of their third turn decide to explode.
Yeah, the explodes. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying the explodes. I mean, as long as we can knock them down to there's less than our party amount, we'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you have more people alive than there are bombs on the screen, once they get to explode, you can't die. Which is the issue that we have for Dragus right now. Recognizes he's in a world of danger there. Has to take the reset, and here we are. Dragus going to do a Siren, get some Liliths, go fight that Dark Elf again if he didn't save, and carry on to that Mom Bomb, which Dekar is through first try. Not an easy fight.
No, I think most runners, especially, with having like a Twin Heart, we're still having a couple extra checks. You never know what's going to be in that back attack, and saving after the first boss, just as like a safety save, can save you a lot of time. So I think saving there is pretty common. I think he did.
Yeah, that would definitely be a good thing. And oh boy, we got an Assassin Dagger. Thanks, Ordeals. More importantly, we got a required boss, and we get a Paladin, and we get Tella's full spell suite. So that's the real rewards in this case. And we also do see a Sparkle. Could this be our D-Lunars or our Wyvern?
Maybe. Oh, no. Just a good old Nope Noodle. Good thing we get a full heal before we start this fight.
Yeah, could you imagine if we didn't go from Mom Bomb with that explode straight to Ogo Pogo?
Oh.
It'd be awful.
Anytime you run into either Ogo or Leviathan in a spot that you don't know it's coming, it feels so bad when you have it healed up. You're like, I can get through any fight here. Oh, and there goes.
Even better, a knockout drag out or knockdown drag out fight with like Val at Dwarf 1, and then you get hit by CPU at Dwarf 2 and you die to the Mazer. Because everybody's at single digit health. Yeah, never done that before.
No, we're all fine. Dragus using the succubus with Palom refilling his MP there. I'm trying to maybe do the extra 10k damage with the Fire 2s, but Mom Bomb with that extra health that she gets in every spot is just a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah, I think Dragus really just trying to push the damage to get to the next phase here. But the big thing that we're seeing is that slight difference in HP total, where Palom, I think, was at like 300 HP on Dekar's side and able to survive. Well, unfortunately, again, Palom down. So just bad rolls, and that's part of what I was surprised about on Dekar's side was everyone living. Maybe we have a shot at this one, though. We have one small bomb down, 5 to go. Cure 3 comes out on Rosa, which is great, since she has that heroin robe on. Sid trying, but only dealing 120 damage to a bomb there is not good, and then taking 200 from a punch. Getting a little spooky here on Dragus' side.
Yeah, and I think that's where it comes into be fast anchored for this fight. Like, you're reducing the amount of times those bomblets get attacks off.
Yeah.
And oh boy, here's Canazzo on like one of the easiest spots for him to be in. No 65k of Turtle.
All right, I think thankfully Dragus is going to be through here. He got a Cure 3 off on Sid. Sid cannot die from this point to the baby bomblets, so he is also going to be through. Good recovery on this side from Dragus.
Definitely, and Rosa ended up taking one of them and surviving, and not surviving.
I think Rosa took all of them.
Yeah, I guess the bomblets just didn't like the White Mage. And we've got a dance party here in Baron Inn. The Fiends were kind of getting together, having a good old dance party.
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect to find them maybe at the Troya pub, having a drink and a good time, but here we are doing that in Baron Inn instead. Maybe a slight location confusion based on the background. I think it's the same background, but that's a Mylon problem and a Baron Innkeeper problem, not an us problem.
I don't know. We'll see what we get from this particular check, and we know we at least know we have to do the first one because it's, Canazzo's there.
Right.
But on that, we have Twin Harp in this spot for our hook. Where could it be?
Well, we also do have the potential of that good old Zot 1D Mist. Or Mist Cave, I think, as well. We haven't been there.
Yeah, we haven't been to Mist Cave yet. Like that's also an option, too.
Getting Mist Cave is such a bad feeling because it's such a early spot, and there's an adamant, so we have Forge on the table. What Forge are you hoping for?
Fiery Hammer. Fiery Hammer, and also Fiery Hammer. I want to see Sid hit things and hit things hard.
For me, I would actually say, no, not the sword, no, Gigantax. That's what I would be hoping for.
No, but that lets Cecil have it instead of Sid, and that's boring. I want a Fiery Hammer.
No, they can both have it.
Yes, but when do you ever put it on Sid over Cecil?
In the Z fight.
Oh boy. Dekar now knows that we have to go to Twin Harp for our hook, or there's a sneaky D-Miss, so I think he's going to go get powered up in Eblin first.
Yeah, definitely a great place to go early on to get your early power here. 3 trap chests. Potentially some good loot here. I mean, it is T-Pro, but who cares? It's Eblin. There's always a crystal sword here, right?
I mean, there's always a crystal sword when I'm not doing Eblin on these flags, and there's never one when I am, so I'm not playing the seed, so there's 100% chance of a holy sword here. That's math on stream, folks, and it is not verifiable in any way.
Fortunately, I mean, these first couple chests. Not anything really useful for this party, just cash. Cat claw, short sword.
The Medusa arrows could come in handy if we need to egg grind. We have a heroine robe, which means that we can have Rosa as our fastest character center slotted. She'd be able to get the stone procs reliably on eggs, pending our runners know that tech and know the timing on it. But outside of that, this Eblin loot so far has been hot garbage. Now, I love me some hot garbage, but our runners probably don't.
Ooh, we have the Black Cat Lamia being the first one. You gotta be careful with these cats.
Yeah, cats are jerks. These cats in particular will cast Bluster on you if you don't kill them in one shot. And Bluster is a mistranslated version of Blaster, which is a fancy way of saying you're dead in one hit.
You could also you either die or you get paralyzed.
That's true. Now, if you want to have some real fun with this, cast Charm on the Black Cats. What happens is they'll start blustering their own teammates, the other cat, the Lamia. It's quite the fun time. Not for them, but that's great for us.
So like having like a charm rod, like I love coming here with the charm rod, just give me the instant charm cast on them.
Yeah. And we are through.
Spells that you never think to use in vanilla, like charm, slow, like useful in some situations.
Speaking of useful,
well, it's a holy sword.
it is.
But we're going for more. Rosa I think Rosa has the silent staff.
Yep, Rosa has a silent staff and a heroine robe. Mad ogres are considered mages, and therefore they get mashed pretty badly by this Rosa.
And Rosa just like, no, you go away. I'm going to jerk myself up, and I'm going to get angry.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting point of divergence or potential divergence for our runners. Any time that Dragus spends after this Baron Inn that is not doing Eblin Castle is time that he is going to be falling behind. Because one runner having an X-Gal, the other not, is not a good thing. So we see a Bahamut orb being picked up out of that trap chest. The X-Gal goes on, Black Belt goes on. That Bahamut orb not going to do a whole lot, but we have actually some good strength gear here, a headband and a Black Belt to go with that X-Gal Cecil. So that's actually quite good for T-Pro.
Yeah, and we are out of here. Not taking on the final trap chest. Not too much experience with that one. Now comes the question of where does Dekar go next? We know Twin Harp, but don't want to forget about that Mist Cave. Well, okay.
Yeah, looks like Twin Harp is on the menu, and Dragus doing some shopping as well in Baron. And I'm very interested to see where he goes after this. Does he go Harp? Does he go Eblin? What is Dragus's play from here? It looks like we are going Mist Cave, so we will finally get a peek at our Mist Cave boss.
Yeah, Mist Cave. This could be potentially game-changing, especially on Dragus' side. If it's like the Mist Dragon or a boss that we need, well, never mind.
Or it's Bahamut, which is not required. And Dragus checking his key items, realizing, guess I gotta do this harp check.
Yeah, doing it with... I mean, we have, some decent equipment for ourselves. We got, I think on Dragus' side, we've got a fire sword and a silver hammer for physical. Despite having high magic, can't really rely on Palam's virus at all or all of Telespells.
Yeah, this is a bit of a spooky fight for Dragus. Dekar is going to smash through this, pun fully intended. Dragus is going to have a much more difficult time on average with whatever fight is going to be here.
Yeah, we get the instant perish on Dekar's side, everybody wearing metallic, but I think it's that time where we continue to talk, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do the talking today because every time I do this, I just get muted.
Nah, I'm not gonna risk getting muted or blocked.
Well, Tibalt, that was some good old Final Fantasy VI music and a boss that is going to be really bad for Dragus's side. Just cutting in real quick here. There is the hook. Just before we get to the music back from Dragus, Dekar will be going underground. That Excal going to pay dividends here big time. All right, and Dragus, I'm sure, very happy to be through that Antlion fight. Without that X-Cal, that was no fun indeed. We did see a couple developments on Dekar's side in the meantime. Hourglass 2's for sale in Eblin Cave. And speaking of Eblin Cave, King and Queen of Eblin are our hook boss, so that is basically
Uh,
as free as it gets.
as far as we know, the Ruby spot's free. However,
Yeah.
we still have the King Queen spot, which could be a little tricky depending on what's there. You know, you stick like Evil Wall there, Octomom, anything that just physically hits you, like that could be a little dangerous.
Yeah, something like an Octomam in particular would be a little spooky because we'd be relying on Excal Cecil as our damage dealer. But I don't really see too much of a problem here. I think for Dekar, he probably can just Zerk up Cecil and even get through that. So we'll see what's here. I've been
What?
proven wrong many times before. There's a Sparkle, can't be Wyvern.
Is there Lunars?
So
Our Lunars.
this is a situation where you want them casting Virus. The magic here, not scary at all. The punch is very scary. So you Zerk up Cecil, you let him hit things. You don't care how much damage he does and what the range is. You just don't want to be getting punched here. The punches are super, super scary. So
Yeah, as we saw,
yeah.
Sid take a hit for 1,000. It's like,
Yeah.
ow. The only other thing to really worry about is that that fire doing 25% of your HP. Like that just hurts.
Yeah, we got a Quake off though. Cecil able to slap that front D Lunar for 2,900 damage. And that is the third objective boss on the table for DekarSMASH before heading underground. And Dragus going to be joining him. We shall see if he's going to be picking up a Holy Sword along the way as well, or if we are just going to be dealing with this gauntlet first, possibly in the waterfall.
Yeah, could be staying on this gauntlet early, getting it out of the way. I mean, you don't want to forget about it. You're going down the hook. When are you exactly going to come back here to the waterfall?
Yeah,
Get
I
out of
think
your way.
I think for me, I would still want to come back here when I can just go ahead and one-shot everything with like Palom with Virus. Because one of the unfortunate things is Thor Rages aren't guaranteed to kill everything in this gauntlet, like they are in the Mist Cave gauntlet, with the exception of exactly the Sword Rats. So this will take a little bit longer. And also the Thor Rages will not work on tiny mages, and what they will do is then counter, because of course they do, they counter with Psych. So if you use magic on a tiny mage and it doesn't kill them, they counter with Psych. If you charm them, they cast Fatal on you. The tiny mages are just jerks. So we'll see what happens here on Dragus' side.
Okay, yeah. Tiny Mage's jerks. Good to know for the future.
Yep.
We still have a good old alligator here. I think he's gathering up his campaign for being senator.
Yeah, I'd say grassroots, but there's a lot of water here and not a lot of grass.
Dekar through that King Queen. Get to see what the boss is here at the top tower. And see if we actually turn in that forge like super early, since we did get it quite early on. That shop down there at Call can be really nice. We see a Golbez at the top tower.
Yeah, Golbez top of tower, not a spot you want to find Golbez, but we do have an Excal Cecil, so that Golbez will drop pretty quickly on Dekar's side. And now we get to the fun fight. We just got through those mad toads and the water bugs because those are enemies that exist. And then we get our mages. Come on. Show me Thor Rage. Oh, I think Dragus might know about the Thor Rage and what happens with the counters.
Ah, darn. We don't get to see angry mages.
Oh, we have Alderman Alligator as a call out for a potential name. I like that.
There we go. First off, going straight to Talmra. Probably to check for sirens. Maybe going for your philosophy of grind early, grind often. Finding coffins and tents. Ooh, tents. Definitely want to pick those up. Not starting with any camping gear. Like you see camping gear in a shop, you're like, yes, I don't care what it is. Tents, cabins, I'll take either one.
Yep, 100% agree with that. And big moment here on Dragus' side. We get a save, and we go to Eblin. This is great news for Dragus. I think that the only way he gets back in this is by picking up that Excal and then making some really good routing choices along the way from here. Dekar so far has been extraordinarily efficient in his routing and his play to this point. And doing more of that by taking on the tower right away here after that quick shopping trip to Tamra. Going to head on up the tower, take on that Golbez, take on the tower key. So we shall see, how much time, if any, Dragus is able to make up. Or also potentially what's in that third trap chest. If there's a crystal sword there, that could be a way for Dragus back in as well, or an Avenger to give us Excal Avenger.
Yeah, or even like maybe thinking about taking maybe finding the Mad Ogres on the hook route. We see Valkyrie, the tower key, so that's another boss off the table.
All of a sudden, we are one boss away from go mode, because Dekar knows about the gauntlet. Dekar now knows about Golbez is fighting Val. This is effectively putting Dekar at 6 out of 7. So we are down to a Wyvern or a Dark Knight Cecil, and that's the ball game. So this is potentially a very quick route through. Also, loving the setup here from Dekar, knowing that there's a Golbez upcoming. We're going down to just 2 party members. So that will allow us to have the party members we want alive going into that Golbez fight, which means that Cecil and Rosa will be the 2 characters remaining. Rosa can zerk up Cecil, and Excal Cecil is going to carve up that Golbez. So very well set up and well played by Dekar there.
See, Dragus, you're having some issues with the Black Cat Lamia. I think I didn't see what spell was cast. Wasn't sure if it was a slow or a mute. Unfortunately, you can't mute the Bluster. It's an ability, so they supersede that.
Yeah, they're cats. They're jerks. That's what they do.
Okay, these cats are down. Unfortunately, we do have the Lamia still out there, which can charm, and then Paladin can virus your team, and okay.
Speaking from experience here?
Yeah, just a little. No, that was more of my Rosa got charmed. Yeah. Gets the Excal, and we'll see what he decides next.
Lifing up Tella. Yeah, we get the Excal and we're out. So we miss out on the Bahamut summon and the black belt that was in the chest next door. Also missing out on the other trap chest. So we do have one trap chest that goes unclaimed. But that is going to do it for Dragus. He gets that Excal and says, that is basically the jackpot on this flag set. So I'm good.
We have him healing up the party here. Maybe we wanted to save before doing any more diving. After finding out, hey, I found an Excal. I want to go back in, but I want to save in case I wipe. Nope, never mind.
It's a good idea, though. I definitely like healing up there because you have to do it for either the hook route or more Eblin diving. Also, if you think you might run into the stone men, it's not really the best situation to run into them ever, but certainly not healed up.
Yeah. Usually why I tend to save outside of the cave in case I run into them, especially early. It's just one of those things where it's I wasn't prepared for this, and then you reset and you go way far back, and you're just oh.
Yeah, we see all of these wonderful items just being sold. Double cat claw, just gone. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, but it's so much cash. And 10 hourglass is being bought. Yep.
Yeah, we might see some Mad Ogres on Dragus' side for a little bit of levels. I think we are shy of Quake, and Quake is a pretty good spell. So I do wonder if we'll see that. Also, Lilith out there, not bad. We can gear up our Palom. Double ninja swords, that is of course what's going to be there when Edge is not in the seed. Because, well, welcome to Free Enterprise.
Yeah, and we have Dragus take on just using a Cure 3. I don't think actually has Fall on Cecil, but the magic at this spot is not that bad. And zerked up Cecil, got through Golbez without a hitch.
Yeah, again, that setup that Dekar did beforehand to make sure that Rosa and Cecil were alive was really keen to make that go super smooth. And doing 5 to 6K, it's 4 to 5 hits, and Golbez is down already. Dekar does get a package for his troubles. It will be interesting to note if that package gets checked on Dekar's side, if we don't find Wyvern or DKC at Dwarf or the Feymarch, because you could have the potential for a moonless seed. And I have seen Dekar do that before in seeds, where he has checked the package before going to the moon, investing that time. So I'll be curious to see if he does that, continuing through this seed, having set that trend previously.
Yeah, I was wondering about, as you're over there checking the Twin Harp. Oh, there's an Avenger for Dragus from the Staleman chest.
Yeah, that's huge. These T-Pro trap chests. That's a tier 8 in an X-Gal, a tier 7 in a Bahamut, and a tier 7 in an Avenger. That is X-Gal Avenger Cecil, which that is some Blue Moon level loot there. That is like not Red Moon at all.
No, but it's giving you the power. I mean, you're happy about it. Dragus saving there, sees that's King Queen. I think now comes the choice: do I go for those Mad Ogres or not? I mean, the Stalemen don't give that much experience. We'll find the Pan from the Tower Key, so there's more key items coming in. Gonna be getting close to that good old 10 key items. But I was gonna check. When I was gonna mention, when you check that Twin Harp, is there an argument to actually check the Zot 1, especially with how many bosses we had already found, to maybe check that one since you're over in the area?
I don't think you do that until you are one boss away from go mode. I think if we find a boss in the Feymarch or in Dwarf Castle, I think all bets are off as to where our runners go from there. Everything is in play at that point. From the package to Zot 1 to the moon to the giant, literally every boss spot just opens up and screams, "Hey, check me, check me." And whoever kind of guesses right at that point wins. So it'll be very interesting if we get to that point fairly rapidly, especially with Tower being double required. And our runners are definitely going to do that. Dekar saying no to Feymarch and no to Dwarf right now is going to go do all of the Pan pieces rather than doing Forge, rather than doing Feymarch, rather than doing Dwarf. So fairly curious on that. Maybe looking for 10 key items, do a grind, and then just go blow everything up.
That's what I was thinking of, doing the Pan churn-ins. We also have the Gauntlet up here as well. Like, getting to 10 key items before you hit Dwarf, being able to just single dip that if the Sirens are there, you buy them, you walk out, you grind. You're already at 10 key items, you don't have to come back down to the underground again after doing Sheila. Yeah, it's where you want to do the extra time to go back down.
Yeah, it makes sense. And we see Dragus going with Toad strats here against the D-Lunars, so not going to be able to Zerk and Quake. Tybalt, guess what? we got a third Cat Claw.
Yeah, and we can get underground now.
Yay!
Oh, those key items are just... we have the Sand Ruby... No, not the Sand Ruby. The Sad Ruby.
Hey, remember how we talked about that Earth Hammer potentially being helpful for Mom Bomb early?
Yeah, we found one. just a tad bit too late.
Ouch. But that does put Dekar at 8 key items, so only needs 2 more to get to 10.
Yeah. And we're probably gonna... Nope, we're leaving that... we're going to package.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, is that I have seen Dekar do this in a lot of races, and a lot of pickup seeds and stuff like that. He is a big proponent of the package check. So, I know there's a lot of folks that would not make this play. I'm on record, one of them. I would not touch this until I'm at 6 or 7. So I guess in Dekar's case, he is at 6 of 7 because he knows where the gauntlet is. So this is a situation where he's looking to go potentially moonless here. So yeah, this actually makes sense based on how I've seen him run before, and trying to get that go mode without really needing to do anything on the moon, the giant, maybe even ever having to go down to Feymarch. So if this package hits, you're just in go mode. Minus the access.
The other thing is it's a little bit longer of a fight. It gives you more information on another boss that's either required or not. But it gives you a full heal after this as well. It's either you do it here or you go to the Dwarven Pot to get the heal up, or stay at one of the inns in the Fey March. So I mean, I can definitely see like getting this, checking the boss. If it's nothing, hey, you still get the full heal from here that you can just go underground and go straight to Dwarf with.
Yeah, and I am
Minimizing
curious.
the screen transitions here and there.
I think to me, I just think like the check itself is fine. Just the ordering to me is strange because I would want darkness or pass before doing this. Because let's say like the 8th boss is in dwarf with the darkness crystal. Even if you hit a boss here, then it just feels silly, you know. So it seems it's a perfectly fine check. It just seems out of order, out of logical operation, if you will. You know, I'd love to see it hit here because I think the package having value is wonderful when it happens. Um, but in this case, just the Magus sisters, so it is not happening.
Well, at least we know the Magus sisters aren't somewhere. We always mentioned we love seeing rude bosses at 65k.
That's true.
Magus sisters being one of them. Not turning in the forge, going, I've got an Excal, I'm fine.
See, I'm a sucker for the forge. Even if the weapon itself is garbage, that shop though.
Oh yeah, I mean crystal rings, power shirts,
Yeah.
life staffs. I mean,
Like if you pick up a power shirt and a Zeus gauntlet from the shop, you can cut your grind by minutes because of how strong your Cecil's going to be. Speaking of DKC and finding your 7th boss in Dwarf Castle, oh hi,
oh, okay then.
package
Yeah.
is a huge feels bad now.
It all comes down to what the second boss is, you know. Is this going to be a super jet?
Yeah, I mean, where's the darkness crystal? Where's the pass?
Yeah, super jet would be pass being here and darkness being in the Fey March.
Yeah. It is worth noting this is a little bit of a spooky fight though, because you are going to go into the next fight below maximum health. So if it is like exactly Wyvern at the next spot, I don't think anyone's going to have enough HP to walk off a Mega Nuke here.
At least you're
Oh,
slow anchored, so I mean, you've got 2 people that are possibly RA1 to be able to get the wall off. Rosa, I think, still has that heroin robe on, so...
the Cure 3 does fire off though, so Cecil will be at full health. Even if it is Wyvern at the second spot, he can walk that off now. It can't actually kill him from 1300, since it's only a single roll. Also worth noting on Dragus' side, he took a random encounter of 3 Flame Dogs on the way up here, and that allowed him to set up for this Golbez as well. So both runners leaving that Rosa and that Cecil alive in order to set up. And there is a Karate Master hanging out in Dwarf Castle.
Well, it's not a boss we wanted, but we'll take it. It's a free fight with Cecil.
Well, it's a free fight because we're just going to hit it once with the Excal and it's going to die.
Well, yeah, that too. So...
or not.
No, Cecil's got to take 2 swings.
Doing his best Kane impression.
I mean, they are best friends. So, I mean, you impersonate the ones you care about.
Just like you roast the ones you love.
Dragus entering in that Golbez fight here. Just gotta wait for Golbez to do his good old speech.
Yeah, we'll see. This dwarf key item is going to be huge. Is this our Zeromus access? It is a black belt. That is decidedly not Zeromus access, but Dwarf Castle did have a boss. So unless Wyvern is gating our access to Zeromus, this Dwarf Castle will have been required.
Yeah. We have Bacchus. Buy a stack of 20.
Yeah.
At least, you know, Dekar, we don't have the Avenger, so I mean, I just have, find an Ice Brand. Great for a Ruby if we have to fight a Ruby.
Yeah, a Ruby in a rude place, for example, the Feymarch. That
Or
Ice
Sealed
Brand could
Cave.
come in handy. Yeah, or Sealed Cave, that's true. We could still have the potential of Vanilla Darkness. But right now, we are staring down the barrel of a Sneaky D-Mist, still potentially looming. Could be a Zot 1, we never know. Or access to Zeromus being through the Feymarch in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Feymarch freebie, and then we have the 2 bosses down there. Nasty bosses that could be down here. We could have both. No, we could only have 1 noodle down here. We already took on the other noodle.
And our starting boss was Leviathan. There are no noodles.
Oh, I forgot about that. I always forget the first boss unless it's a required boss. It's an objective. It just slips my mind. Ooh, we found the Baron Key. Well, there's more bosses for us.
I don't necessarily know that that's what you wanted to find, though. I think our runners would just rather have go mode rather than having to do more fetch quests.
I mean, again, it's one of those things like, okay, you haven't found darkness yet. You check the Baron and, oh, you found another boss. Guess what? Hey, you got go mode, but no moon access. Well, yeah. Nope. Would you rather do Baron than that Feymarch?
What I would rather do is walk to the save point, leave a save, and then go do Baron and reset back here, unless the plan is to do Baron and grind afterwards.
Because we are at 9 key items.
Mm-hmm. So it's just interesting what our approach is going to be. And Dragus is going to be making a lot of these similar decisions coming up soon. But the thing is, the way that Dragus has routed this, having completed the gauntlet already, when he gets that Baron key, that'll be his 10th key item. So Dragus is going to, you know, assuming he turns the pan in and does all of that, he'll get to 10 key items slightly faster than Dekar, who has put off that gauntlet, which, again, makes sense because you just come back to the gauntlet when you can one-shot with Palom or whatever.
Did some extra looting here in the Watery Pass here. I mean, I think some people are hoping to find that mystical cursed ring. Because then you don't care about telegaining levels.
Well, the other thing is we haven't seen Sirens, right?
Yeah, that too.
So we're going to need money for Sirens, because on Dekar's side, he just spent his last 100k on Bacchus, where Dragus is not going to need nearly as many Bacchus, if any, because of that Avenger. So it's going to be very interesting to see the routing that plays out here, you know, as far as how the grind goes for our runners, more than anything else. The fights themselves are fairly rudimentary at this point. It's kind of Cecil Gobert, which is fine. But the ancillary things to make up and, you know, to lose time on, that's where it's going to get really interesting.
Yeah, we've got Dekar saving his Bacchus by having Rosa being a fast anchor and circling up the Cecil for Leviathan here. We'll take at least one wave.
This spot is slow, though, so it's only going to be one wave, and then we're going to be out of here. Unless it's exactly Ogopogo on the throne, you're probably not dead to anything, but we've already seen Ogopogo, so there's no big waves. Wyvern, we're fast anchored enough we can get a Veil up, so not really a big issue there. Picks up a Ninja shirt. That's actually really big money-wise, in case Sirens are going to be available. And to answer a question from chat regarding T-Pro, T-Pro is our treasure setting, S-Pro is our shop setting. So Sirens are going to be available in shops because we are on S-Standard for the entire tournament, both Red and Blue Moon. So Sirens, Hourglasses, Coffins, Bacchus, Elixirs, and Leviathan Orb are all going to be available in any gated shop location.
I think I want to say, if my math's correct, there's a 20% chance that Sirens are not in any shops, if I remember correctly.
I don't know the exact math on it, but it's It's definitely less than 20% and more than 10%.
And there's our D-Mist. So Zot 1, no sneaky D-Mist there.
Yeah, the only way Zot 1 could be a sneaky play here is if it has Wyvern, but at this point, I mean, there's not really a lot of impetus for our runners to go do that.
And yes, to make a statement from chat, Sirens are not guaranteed to be at a shop. There have been plenty of seeds where Sirens have not been in any shops.
Yep.
And the question
Now,
comes down to, what do you do for a grind? Do you do doors, D-Money, behemoths, LSD2, bosses?
yeah, with the number of hourglasses our runners have, to me, LST4 Gold Dragons, Hourglass, and as random encounters is on the table. Behemoths could be on the table because we have a huge source of damage in Cecil. But also, we're about to get two vital pieces of information. One, on Dekar's side, a pink tail, 10th key item, and a potential big hit and stick or something else. And on Dragus' side, we're about to see if this forge is of any value. There's Power Shirt and Zeus Gauntlet.
Talk about an amazing shop. You love to see that.
Give me that 25 strength.
Yeah, because at that point, we're fine with the Excal. We don't care about the Crystal Sword at that point. And there's our darkness through that Baron key at D-Mist.
So that is go mode for DekarSMASH. I got my fiery hammer! I'm so happy! Yes! Let Sid hit things!
Sid's gonna be hitting hard here. So we have Excal Avenger Cecil and Fiery Hammer Sid. But this is beautiful.
This is a good news, bad news situation.
Yeah.
Good news for Dragus is he has the power. Bad news is he doesn't have the time. He needs to get that Baron key, and he needs to get that Darkness Crystal, and he needs to go. Now, Dekar, he is launching the Whale, but has not yet done the Gauntlet. So I am hoping he is not thinking he's already done the Gauntlet. I do hope he goes back for that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you see the boss, and then you know it's there, and then you could think later on, oh yeah, I know the boss is there. I've done it already. When you really haven't.
Yeah, so Whale launch gets back in the Enterprise and is headed off to, we presume, the waterfall to get his crystal. There we go. So yeah, Dekar going to complete that that gauntlet, because that would have been absolutely tragic.
Oh yeah, I mean, just forgetting that and going, oh, the boss could be on the moon. I've got 6 checks up there. It's fine. And then you feel bad going, oh, it was waterfall.
Yeah.
Dragus getting the news here that, hey, guess what? You're in go mode. You need to either find the paths or the darkness. Pronto.
Yeah, and that's part of the concern, is that I just don't know that there's enough time left for Dragus to catch up here. He's going to have, between Cecil and Sid, all of the power in the world here to get through whatever he needs to. The issue is just going to simply be, can he get there? Can he catch up? That was a regular hit, I think, or maybe even a Zerk hit. Okay.
That was a Zerk hit.
A Zerk hit with 1,300 health for over 3k with no strength gear. Like, that is how darn good that fiery hammer is.
I wonder on like Dragus' side, he gets the Baron key. Does he decide to take one of the Fame Arch bosses and may end up finding the pass?
I think there's almost a 0% chance of that. I think you definitely go Baron after this, because it's 2 key item checks, representing a potential third if D-Mist is at either the basement or the throne. I think Baron is just the odds-on play here, and the way that Dragus has played this, he's been making the odds plays the entire time. So he hasn't done like the offshoot checks, hasn't done things like Zot 1, like the package. He's been playing pretty close to the vest.
And we're at the tiny mage phase here of on Dekar's side here.
Yeah, so I do wonder on Dekar's side what our grind options are going to be here. If there's no sirens on the moon, I wonder if we do get a very late D machine here because we just want levels. If we, maybe take some random encounters in Hourglass, but that is the crystal for Dekar, just shy of 1 hour and 2 minutes. Zoom, zoom. We have places to be tonight.
Yeah, just already gained on Dragus' side, playing that Dark Knight Cecil. It comes down to where Dragus' goes.
Yeah, we see Dekar heading up to the moon. We see Dragus kind of going over some of Dekar's steps here. But huge shout-outs to both runners for putting on a heck of a race. They've both had basically no issues with the seed. Outside of one wipe to Mom Bomb for Dragus, we've seen incredibly clean play from both runners. Doing some really wonderful things, setting up for Golbez on both sides. Like, just very good, solid gameplay. And we got a fiery hammer, so thank you, Dragus. And of course, thank you to our behind-the-scenes folks. Asuka doing the restream, rolling this wonderful little seed here. Of course, Dubward pushing all the buttons, and he has had a lot to push for only an hour's worth of work right now. Tibalt, shout-outs to you as well, because we got the easy job today. We just get to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, shout-outs to you, too. I mean, you're also a really good runner in this. Unlike me.
That's a lie. You are plenty good at this. But there were moon sirens.
Yeah. Dekar's happy. We're going to be hitting, I believe it's either LST 2 or 6 for our gold dragons.
It would be LST 3 or 6 for the siren ones. Cave value 2 or 3. If he wants warlocks, it would be floor 4. If he wants random gold dragons, it'd be floor 4. It's kind of weird how all the sirens go, but I would expect Dekar probably to go the gold dragon route on LST 6 because he doesn't have to go out of the way. Yeah, he's already on floor 4, not turning encounters on. So I think what we're going to see here is some LST 6 gold dragons. Dragus is a Demus turn-in and a Baron clear behind, but up a fiery hammer. Dekar is going to have a much rougher Z fight and may have to grind a lot more. Dragus is going to have a much easier fight and will have to grind less because he's going to have 2 big hitters in this. I just don't know that there's enough time left for Dragus to catch up here.
Yeah, it all depends on that Z fight. I mean, we always say don't ever take Z for granted because even for some of the best runners out there, and both these runners are amazing, the fight can still go sideways.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's worth noting, Dekar, we haven't really mentioned or alluded to this. Dekar is our defending Zemus Zone champion. Did win Zemus Zone 4. I believe took a single loss, one game in the entire bracket rounds of that after the qualifiers and everything else. So absolutely went through that competition. And Dragus, someone not to be taken lightly, I believe has made brackets in every tournament he has entered. Both phenomenal racers. And you can tell from the way that they've run this, how clean it has been. Again, Dragus had a little stumble on Mom Bomb, but that's it. Otherwise, both runners have been extremely clean.
Yeah, it's also a sign that I want to hit the back one every single time for that dragon. Cecil doing so little damage for that back dragon. Why is that so much? I mean, we always see him doing full damage.
I guess it's because whoever decided to put this flag set together must have been a jerk and turned off the back row glitch. Where normally you'd be able to do full damage from the back row if you had, put on like a bow and arrow on a Cecil, for example, and then you just swap off. Well, but we decided that back row glitch is gone. And what else did we remove? Oh, the warp glitch. And, what else was removed? Oh, the Sylph glitch. So literally the only glitch you get is a life glitch. And we will be seeing that on these gold dragons on Dekar's side. We saw it in the last fight where the life glitch was put into use. And, Tybalt, you want to explain that life glitch and how that works?
So, from what I've heard in commentators past, he's cheating. That's what it is.
Oh, right. Good point.
Yeah, yeah. No, so the way that the life glitch works is that whenever you use life 1 or a life potion, you get brought back with, I believe it's 5 times your vitality in life.
Correct.
However, all the enemies have a vitality of 0. So 5 times 0 is 0. So they come back with nothing, but it still takes it as they're being resurrected, so it counts as 2 kills for them. Not just 1, so you get double the amount of experience for 1 monster.
Yeah, great explanation of how that works. Basically, we are cheating extra XP. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, basically chat saying Red Moon removed some of the features of the game. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Took vanilla behavior and said, nope. Bye-bye.
Dragus about to get the news of, well, just a pink tail here.
I cannot see a world where we turn that pink tail in.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I think we're going to get a save scum here. Oh, we're going basement first. Interesting. I thought we would have gone demist first here. Set up the save scum. If demist blanked, we'd do the basement. So this is a little bit of bad news, unfortunately, for Dragus. Because, well, unless this is the path.
Yeah.
Then he would still have to figure out a grind, which would be a little awkward if this is the past. Because we know the darkness comes from the demist tournament. And that's where the sirens are as well.
That's one of those things. We do have the power. We could do like low-level Zerking strats with, the Excal and the Fiery Hammer. We also have the option of doing something like Sylph Trap chests as well, I've heard.
We don't have RA1 Palom, and Sylph Trap chests are awful without RA1 Palom. So, that would be cool, but I don't think that's going to be in the cards. That would be a really, really ugly grind.
I think the only one that
Yes,
you've got
Nuke.
Woohoo! I mean, he's small, so he's not gonna be. He's only gonna be hitting for 1. But using the Fiery Hammer as an item here while being minied is some high level of gameplay here. Knowing that you have the reduced damage, but using items, there's no damage reduction.
Yeah. Not every day you get to see Sid nuke things.
No, and it's amazing.
Yeah, Fiery Hammer is my favorite Supersmith weapon. And then I think Abel's Lance is second because it lets you take characters who are normally less well regarded than Cecil and make them just objectively better than Cecil. So I'm a big fan.
We got the rat tail from that Baron basement, so
yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like it because you are now going to have to chase it. And I don't know that we're going to turn Demist in before we complete that chase.
Dekar decided I've done enough grinding, I'm going to go save, and may end up going down towards Zeromus here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I think Dekar, he has nuke on the kid, so we're probably going to be seeing some hybrid strats here. We might see just nuke white reflect, but I have to imagine we're going to get hybrid here. It's very hard to turn down a Cecil with an Excal with 10 strength boost. I have to imagine this is going to be hybrid.
Oh, looks like we turn to the pink tail first for yet another Bahamut.
Yay!
More cash in our pocket. Yay!
Dragon God now.
And there's the pass!
Okay, so that's actually really bad for Dragus because he may now be incentivized to not go and do demist. Without sirens, without a grind, he would literally have to go now right to Z. And I just don't know that he can get there. But speaking of Z Tibble, we see Dekar on his way.
Yeah, we see a bunch of flags. Is it a little too early for a nap time?
No, I've been up since 5:30, and it's about 3:30, so I'm good for a nap.
Yeah, okay. So, boss, what's so special about this boss? I mean, don't we like to randomize our bosses?
Yeah, most of them, but not this one. You don't really want to run across Zeromus in, Antlion Cave.
It's so much
It'd be kinda
fun.
bad. No, it's not. Big Bang, not cool. Zeromus, don't randomize as far as where, but we randomize as far as what. So, Tibalt, what's the question while the crystal's being thrown?
I think it's whose butt are we gonna be kicking? I think the other for now is like, does it have a hat? Is it cute? Am I missing any here?
No, that's good. Also, no hat. Wonderful hair, though. I suppose cute is in the eye of the beholder on this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. Has a butt, does not have a hat. I'm going no cute, but great sword. And great
Oh.
pants.
Oh yeah, Shishomaru from Inuyasha. I mean, for some people, I would say they think he's cute. So I mean,
And Dragus on a mad dash for Sirens, just trying any way he can to find a way to level and do it efficiently. He's going to get this Darkness Crystal, and I think this is one of those situations where you find the Darkness Crystal while having the pass and you feel bad. Because
Yeah.
you know that you could have just gone to the moon, gotten your Sirens, done your grind, and you wouldn't have had to do the basement, the rat tail turn, and all of that, checking the shops. So, it kind of feels bad. You hate to see it, but at the same time, it is what it is. Rando gonna rando. But speaking of rando, we're getting a lot of random high level damage from the Cecil on Dekar's side. I think I saw near 6,000 hit. So we're just gonna be chunking away at Sessionless here.
yeah, I mean with Cecil at 3,400 HP and the extra strength boosting gear, hitting like he would have a crystal sword here, but only an Excal. Having, is it just a black belt on? I mean, the way I always like to think of it is that you substitute levels for gear.
Yeah, if you do not have power overwhelming, get levels overwhelming. Now, there is a chance here. I don't know where we're at damage-wise, but if the nuke fires and the white fires... we didn't get the nuke off. I was wondering if we were in the range of a refill skip here. Could have been really close there, but without having the nuke and white fire back-to-back, the refill skip does not happen. So, yeah, just going to have to do raw damage here, but I don't think we're going to see any nerfing from Dekar. I don't think we're going to see anything but pure damage being output and just try to burn Z down before it burns us down.
Yeah, I think with the amount of HP that's on a few of our heavy hitters here that don't have a wall up, I don't think there's any fear of taking a big bang and wiping.
Yeah, with that Cure 4 coming out, Cecil can take a Big Bang and a full power one and a Meteo hit and still be alive. So this fight is pretty well done here, just pumping the damage. The nuke is really helping, and this is a great identifier by Dekar to just go and do these hybrid strats here. Just make sure that you put out that damage. You're not in any risk of, a combo platter. Sid and Cecil are going to take this home, and, you're good to go. Palom dies, but whatever. At this point, he did his job. He got 2 or 3 nukes off, pushed another 15, 18, 20k damage, and that's really all you want out of that.
I mean, Dragus, I don't know if Dragus actually checked the moonshot, but is in the giant. Well, we did get the snap, crackle, boom on Dekar's side. GG's to Dekar. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview.
Yeah, very efficiently run race by Dekar, coming in with a very quick time, just around an hour and 15 minutes. The seed itself was pretty jetty. We had a holy sword, but you still have to execute, and I dare say he did that very well. So we will see if we can get him in for an interview. And that dinging in my ears means that we are joined by a DekarSMASH. GG's to you, Dekar.
Thank you. GG's everyone, and especially Dragus.
Yeah, first question for me. How excited were you when that X-Scout showed up?
I was pretty excited because my party otherwise was not really the dream. Didn't really have a 5th character who I wanted in my party, like a second white mage, a bard, or a Cid. were my options, and I didn't really like any of them. So FCal made it so that that was kind of just an unnecessary slot anyway.
And I suppose my second question has to be, if you don't already know, would you like to know what was at the forge?
I don't know what was what was it.
The fiery hammer.
Oh, wow, that's the best possible thing that could have been there.
So we were very, or at least I was super happy in the booth, having called that as something I wanted to see. It would have been very interesting to see if you had picked that up, how much less of a grind you would have had to do,
Yeah,
and then just go popping things.
Definitely would not have grinded nearly as much with Fiery Hammer.
The choice to go and get Nuke and White on the mages, was that to go pure hybrid?
If I'm being completely honest, it was kind of a defensive play. I was feeling like the seed had gone well and I was probably ahead, and one of the ways I could lose is just trying to rush the Z fight with a, Rosa who's not that well equipped. She goes down and then you're trying to like scramble with Sid if you keep him unzerked. It could either be long or it could go south. And since I felt good about the seed up to that point, I just said, why not do like one extra fight? And then the one extra fight got Palom to Medio, and I was like, alright, well, I'll just do one more to get Nuke.
That makes sense. And was that kind of the logic with the package check as well? Where, you felt like you were doing pretty well and didn't want to lose to something, fairly fluky? Was that just because you were already at 6 or 7 bosses?
Well, it's a little of that, and it's also a tracking error. I hadn't checked off Mom Bomb as an objective boss being completed, so at the time I checked the package, I only realized I was 5 out of 7, and it wasn't until I was fighting through Dwarf that I realized that, hey, actually I'm at 6 out of 7, and I'll be 7 out of 7 as soon as I do the gauntlet.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, that Mom Bomb, in the moment, harder to track because you're just worried about staying alive, because that is not a fun fight at back attack.
Yeah, I mean, definitely glad I did the Siren on Ordeals to get myself a little more hit points. I still think I would have been okay because really with Rosa anchoring there, the bombs are going to be so slow that I think I would have been fine. But it was lucky too that like basically everyone survived.
Yeah, we noted that Dragus was not as fortunate, that you had some very low rolls on a couple of those mages. They only got hit for like 270 when the normal is like 300 plus. So definitely some good fortune went in there, but also combined with good play. The last major question I have for you is, and this is me being a Porum hater, why get rid of Porum and lose out on Twin so early? Did we just want another beater, or what was the game plan there?
I mean, the game plan was I didn't want to take Porum for the rest of the seed, and I didn't want to have to go back to the Tower of Wishes later. My strategy, or in the moment, my instinct was Twin is not going to save me as much time as a Tower of Wishes trip is going to cost me.
Fair enough. That's very sound logic and reasoning there. Tybalt, I have hogged the mic here in this interview. Got any questions for our winner this evening and our reigning Zemus Zone champion, DekarSMASH?
No, I think you actually covered all the questions that I would have had. We seem to think alike there, Possum. I mean, we know each other so well.
Yeah, well, Dekar, I suppose that's about all we have for questions then. How are you feeling heading into the next round? Anything you're going to be changing up? Anything you're going to keep the same? I think we can announce who your opponent is. But are you looking to do anything different against Solaris as y'all face off in a best of 3?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I'm relieved to be out of the best of 1 rounds, because best of 1 and boss hunts is kind of terrifying. So I mean, I think the way this works is if I lose Solaris, I'd be back in another best of 1 in the waning bracket, but at most I have 1 more best of 1 ahead of me, and that feels good. As for whether I'll do something different, I definitely don't think I can afford to play that defensively against Solaris, so yes, I will be playing more aggressively. Solaris is just, he's a tip-top runner, and doesn't have any weaknesses as far as I can tell. So it's basically just go, 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 and try to be as efficient as you can, and hope to get really small edges or to make routing decisions that work out. Which is sort of what happened when we faced last tournament. I think both of our matches were more or less determined by routing decisions that worked out in my favor. So hopefully I'll get lucky again, but the most important thing is, have some fun, and that's what my focus is going to be.
Well, definitely, it's a great attitude to have. Fun is the foremost objective. Winning is cool, but having fun is even better. A great attitude and outlook.
All right, well, that's all I got. Thanks, guys. And I'll probably see you all again soon.
Sounds good. GG's again, Dekar, and good luck in the round of 8.
Alright, well, looks like we did a bit of a D-money grind on Dragus' side. Just got enough levels to get Rose in that nice little 1900 HP range, and got Cecil and did some levels, so they're going to be pumping out some damage. Did see a quad 9 from that stint on those beamers.
Yeah, Fiery Hammer go burr.
Especially against machines.
Yeah, well, I mean, just in general, but yeah, the super go burr, that's nearly 6k from from Sid, who is currently out damaging that Cecil. Dragus correctly identifying, I don't need a full grind here, I don't need nuke on Palom. We'll maybe reflect some lit 3s or whatever, but yeah, Flare Hammer, quad 5s, we'll have to see it.
Definitely, I mean, you always take for granted some of the Super Smith weapons. Like, it's such a nice thing to happen when it hits, and it hits well. You are super happy about it.
Yeah, like it's cool to get an Excal from the Forge, but if you can get something that makes another character relevant beyond just your Cecil, like again, that's why I love the Fiery Hammer, Thor Hammer, Gigant Axe, Abel's Lance, things that make your other party members as relevant or more relevant than Cecil. They take them from being okay characters to really, really good characters. I just love that potential that it brings. And we see, like, Sid is out damaging an Excal Cecil here with a decent amount of strength here because the Fire Hammer is just that good. Like, it's so cool to see it in action.
Yeah, I mean, Cecil's only hit there for 3k. Meanwhile, Sid just like, yeah, nope, I got this 5k. Haha.
Yeah, and Sid has a stronger, a higher natural crit chance as well than Cecil does. So you're going to see, bigger damage numbers come out from Sid on average as well. Like 4,400, I think, has been his low roll. So just absolutely tearing through Zeromus here. We're averaging like 9,000 to 10,000 a round. Not going to be too much more of this fight. That was a direct virus that did not get a counter, which means that tipped into the Meteo phase. And there is Meteo. So, yeah, off we go. Palom dies. Palom doesn't die!
That was actually a reflected virus.
Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was direct.
Nope, that was a reflected virus.
Alright, well, there we go. Dragus is through. Just about 10 minutes behind Dekar, but not for a lack of trying. Did a phenomenal job running this himself. And it does look like, Dragus did decide to decline the interview, which is his right, absolutely, to do so. But a very, very well-run siege by both him and Dekar. Really smooth operating by both runners tonight. So huge shout-outs and huge GGs to both Dekar and Dragus on a very well-run race.
So, I mean, do we have any more free enterprise going on here? We're just kind of done with it.
Nope, I think we're just done with free enterprise. No more free enterprise. There's probably never going to be free enterprise played again. So I guess that's it. We can all pack up and go. No, I'm kidding. There's always more free enterprise, Tybalt. I believe we have another match happening tonight. I think the Bardic Panda and Elven Sorrow are racing on free enterprise 2. I believe that is in about an hour and a half. I think that is our only remaining match tonight. And then tomorrow, if I am not mistaken. We have a couple of no, tomorrow. What am I saying? Tomorrow is Monday. We don't have matches on Mondays. Just kidding. I'll let you take it from here because I'm just lost. I can't apparently read what day it is.
I mean, that's a positive part of not being able to. I mean, you don't read, you can't count. I mean,
What am I
you
good
commentate?
for?
Yeah, commentate. You commentate well. Or you play free enterprise amazingly well at the same time. But I believe we're going to be sending on over somebody here. I have to look up the name again. I believe they're doing some push B to jump.
Ooh.
Yeah, UG Bolt the Orc. Doing some push B to jump. Do you like push B to jump?
I love watching it. I love commentating about it. I detest playing it, but that's a me problem. It's a super cool thing to watch. It breaks sequencing in free enterprise like nothing else does. So it's really neat. But yeah, we're gonna head over to I don't know, is it UG Blut or UG Blut the Orc? I have no idea. But we're gonna head over there. So yeah, thank you one last time to our runners DekarSMASH and Dragus Cloud. Thank you, Asuka, for the restream, Dubwort for pushing all of those buttons in a very short time, and Tybalt, of course, thank you to you for being such a wonderful commentary partner, and I look forward to doing this again with you.
Thanks to you as well for being an amazing commentary partner. I mean, you get us both in the booth and things, and so much knowledge gets put out there for everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody have a great night. Enjoy the continued free enterprise, and we'll catch y'all on Tuesday for the next round of races.